Ladies and gentlemen, today we are introducing to you and to the world these 7 men who have been selected to begin training for orbital space flight. These, ladies and gentlemen, are the nation's Mercury astronauts.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. All right, liftoff, and the clock has started. Yes, sir. Reading you loud and clear. This is Freedom 7. The fuel is go. 1.2 G. Cabin at 14 psi. Oxygen is go. All systems are go.
I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal before this decade is out of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the earth.
Godspeed, John Glenn. 3, 2, 1, 0. Roger, the clock is operating. We're underway. Loud and clear. Roger, 0G, I feel fine. Capsule is turning around. Oh, that view is tremendous. Capsule turning around, and I could see the booster during turnaround just a couple of hundred yards behind me. It was beautiful. Roger, understand go for at least 7 orbits. Texas Captain Correction 7. We are recommending that you leave the terrestrial package on to the entire re-entry. Do you read? This is Friendship 7. What is the reason for this? Do you have any reason? Over? Not at this time. This is the judgment of Spaceflight. Roger, understand. I will have to make a manual 05G entry when it occurs and bring the scope in manually. Is that affirmed? That is affirmative. Friendship 7.
The ground telemetry receivers had picked up an impulse that we possibly had a loose heat shield. This could have been a bad day all the way around if that had been the case.
Okay, I'm out. Okay, now. Okay, I'm coming over. Okay, stand up. There you are. You're right in front, eh? So let's do it. I feel like $1 million. I'm gonna pick up. Now laugh. This is the greatest experience I've just remembered.
You spared up my windshield, you dirty dog. Yeah. Break in, Gus. Houston, Capcom. I don't even know exactly where we are, but it looks like we're about over Texas again. 74, Houston, Capcom. As a matter of fact, it looks like Houston down below us. Jimmy 4, Houston, Capcom. Right. Hey, Gus, I don't know if you're ready, but we're right over Houston. See what flight director's got to say.
The flight director says get back in.
This is Jim. What? Got any message for us? Jimmy 4, get back in. Okay. I don't know. We're coming over the west end. We want you to come back in now. Roger. We've been trying to talk to you for a while here. No, back in. Come on. We still got 3.5 more days to go, buddy. Okay.
7 and 6, would you continue at the description of your station keeping?
Right now, 6 is about 10 feet above it to the left of 7. We're just flying a nose to nose, approximately 15 feet apart. Gemini 8, DSQ Capcom, contact how do you read? We got serious problems here. We're toppling in over here. Engage from the unit. This is rolling up and we can't turn anything on. And we get breathing in a long roll.
CSQ flight.
I have flight.
demonstrated the feasibility of almost everything we plan to do in Apollo, except land softly on the moon and return safely to the Earth's atmosphere at 25,000 miles an hour. Saturn V is required to inject Apollo into the atmosphere at such speed. But Surveyor has demonstrated techniques for a soft landing on the moon and for effective operation from the lunar surface. Perhaps most important of all, we're amassing a great wealth of operating experience and operating skills. It will be difficult to overstate what it means to the American space effort to be starting the Apollo program with Gemini experience already available to us. We will open the manned flight phase of the Apollo program with a seasoned team with lettermen at key positions.
10, 9. We have ignition sequence start. The engines are on. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. We have commit. We have liftoff. Liftoff at 7:51 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
This is Apollo 8 coming to you live from the moon. Moon is a different thing to each one of us. I know my own impression is that it's a vast, lonely, forbidding type system or expanse of nothing. We are now approaching lunar sunrise, and for all the people back on Earth, the crew of Apollo 8 has a message that we would like to send to you. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. And God saw the light, that it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. And God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters. Let it divide the waters from the waters." And God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament, the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. God said, "Let the waters under the heaven be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear." And it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas. God saw that it was good. And from the crew of Apollo 8, we close with good night, good luck, a Merry Christmas, and God bless all of you on the good earth.
10, 9. Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11.
Roger, we got a roll from
Power clear.
Roger, roll. Yeah, Houston, Apollo 11, that in gave us a magnificent ride. Roger, 11, we'll pass that on, and it certainly looks like you're well on your way now. Roger, Eagle, 10 dots. Roger. Looking good. We are now coming up on 30 seconds to acquisition of the command module. And we'll stand by for that event. Columbia, Houston, over. Houston, Columbia, reading you loud and clear. How many? Bye, Mike. How did he go, over? Listen, babe, everything's going just swimmingly. Beautiful. Great. We're standing by for Eagle. Good Eagle, how do you read? Eagle, Houston, we rig you now. You're a go for PDI, over. Roger, understand. 1, 0. Listen, 10%. We're still go, altitude 27,000 feet. Same alarm, and it appears to come up when we have a 1668 up. Roger, copy. Wow. On time. Roger, copy. Down. Better in the simulator. Roger. Altitude now 21,000 feet, still looking very good. Velocity down now to 1,200 feet per second. You're looking great, Eagle. go. 1,400 feet, still looking very good. Roger, 1202, we copy it. Altitude, velocity light. 8.5 down, 20 feet. 15 forward. 11 forward, come down nicely, 200 feet. 4.5 down, 5.5 down. 160 feet, 6.5 down, 5.5 down. 9 forward. Good. 20 feet. 100 feet, 3.5 down, 9 forward. 5%. How many bites? Okay, 75 feet. Guys looking good, down a half. 6 forward. 60 seconds. Lights on. Down 2.5. Forward. Forward. Good. 20 feet down, 2.5. Picking up some dust. 30 feet, 2.5 down. Straight shadow. 4 forward. 4 forward. Just into the right a little. 20. Down a half. 30 seconds. Forward. Just. Good. Okay. Back light. Okay, engine stop. APA at a descent. Mode control both auto, descent engine command override off. Engine arm off. 413 is in. We copy you down, Eagle. Listen, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed. Roger, Tranquility. We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue. We're breathing again. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Okay, Neil, we can see you coming down the ladder now. Okay, Neil, we can see you coming. I'm at the foot of the ladder. The limb footbeds are only depressed in the surface about 1 or 2 inches. Although the surface appears to be very, very fine-grained as you get close to it. It's almost like a powder. Ground mass is very fine. Yeah, I'm going to step off the limb now. That's 1 small step for man, 1 giant leap for mankind. The surface is fine and powdery. I can pick it up loosely with my toe. It does adhere in fine layers, like powdered charcoal to the sole and insides of my boots. Sure, not to lock it on my way out. Particularly good thought. That's our home for the next couple hours. We want to take good care of it. It's a very simple matter to hop down from one step to the next. Yes, I find to be very comfortable, and walking is also very comfortable. Beautiful view. Isn't that something? Magnificent sight out here. Magnificent desolation. For those who haven't read the plaque, we'll read the plaque that's on the front landing gear of this LAM. Dear men from the planet Earth, first set foot upon the moon, July 1969, AD. It came in peace for all mankind. It has the crew members' signatures and the signature of the President of the United States.
Hello, Neil and Buzz. I'm talking to you by telephone from the Oval Room at the White House. And this certainly has to be the most historic telephone call ever made. I just can't tell you how proud we all are of what you do. For every American, this has to be the proudest day of our lives. And for people all over the world, I am sure they too join with the in recognizing what an immense feat this is. undervolt.
Roger, main B undervolt. Stand by 13, we're looking at it.
We had a pretty large bang associated with the caution and warning there. Okay, Houston, are you still reading 13?
That's affirmative. We're reading you. We're trying to come up with some good ideas here for you.
And Jack, our O2 quantity number 2 tank is in field. Did you get that? Now, listen, you're looking out the hatch, so we are venting something. We are venting something out into space.
Roger, we copy your venting.
Here in mission control, we're now looking towards an alternate mission, swinging around the moon and using the lunar module power systems because of the situation that has developed here this evening.
It's not a very long procedure, Fred. We figure we've got about 15 minutes worth of power left in the command module, so we want you to start getting over in the LEM and getting some power on that.
As we have an apparent serious oxygen leak in the cryogenic oxygen in the service module, the lunar module would serve as a sort of lifeboat for the crew of Apollo 13. The parasympian near the moon, they would use the descent propulsion system of the lunar module for trans-Earth injection burn at about 79 hours, 30 minutes ground elapsed time.
Roger, Aquarius, you go for the burn. Okay, Aquarius, you're looking good.
Copy that. Service module separation at 138 hours, 2 minutes, 8 seconds.
And there's one whole side of that spacecraft missing.
Is that right?
Right by the, look out there, right by the high gate antenna, the whole panel is blown out, almost from the base to the engine.
Copy that.
And it looks like it got to the SPS bell too.
You can ding the SPS engine bell, huh?
Well, look, that's just about ground straight. Really a mess.
Okay, your go to start powering up the command module.
Right on, we're starting now.
Okay.
Let's get it.
Okay, copy that. Farewell, Aquarius, and we thank you.
We've had lunar module jettisoned.
Odyssey, Houston, we show you on the mains. It really looks great.
An extremely loud applause as Apollo 13 on main chutes comes through loud and clear on the television display here.
Photo 1 appears flight down at this time.
Another cheer in the control room as we head splashdown.
You might recognize what I have in my hand as the handle for the contingency sample return. It just so happens to have a genuine 6-iron on the bottom of it. In my left hand, I have a little white pellet that's familiar to millions of Americans. Drop it down. much to my surprise, a pair of money eyes. Houston, before we close out our EVA, we understand that there are young people in Houston today, young people from countries all over the world. Probably one of the most significant things we can think about when we think about Apollo is that it has opened for us being the world, a challenge of the future. The door is now cracked, but the promise of that future lies in the young people, not just in America, but the young people all over the world, learning to live and learning to work together. In order to remind all the peoples of the world, in so many countries throughout the world, that this is what we all are striving for in the future, Jack has picked up a very significant rock, typical of what we have here in the valley of Torres Little. It's a rock of all sizes and shapes, fragments of all sizes and shapes, and even colors that have grown together and become a cohesive rock, outlasting the nature of space, sort of living together in a very coherent, very peaceful manner. When we return this rock, or some of the others like it to Houston, we'd like to share a piece of this rock with so many of the countries throughout the world. We hope that this will be a symbol of what our feelings are, what the feelings of the Apollo program are, and a symbol of mankind that we can live in peace and harmony in the future. A portion of a rock will be sent to a representative agency or museum in each of the countries represented by the young people in Houston today to commemorate not just Apollo 17's visit to the Valley of Torres Litro, but as an everlasting commemoration of what the real meaning of Apollo is to the world. We'd like to uncover a plaque that has been on the leg of our spacecraft that we have climbed down many times over the last 3 days. And I'll read what that plaque says to you. The words are, "Here man completed his first exploration of the moon, December 1972 AD. May the spirit of peace in which we came be reflected in the lives of all mankind." This is our commemoration that will be here until someone like us, till some of you who are out there who are the promise of the future, come back to read it again and to further the exploration and the meaning of Apollo. And as I take man's last step from the surface, America's challenge of today has forged man's destiny of tomorrow. And as we leave the moon in Torres Litro, we leave as we came, and God willing, as we shall return, with peace and hope for all mankind. Godspeed the crew of Apollo 17.
This circuit, known up until now as Gemini Control, then Apollo Control, will reappear as Skylab Control in the spring.
T-minus 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Engine sequence start. 2, 1, 0. We have launch commit and we have liftoff. Houston through the Vanguard has considerable applause here on the report of hard docking.
And in about 2 minutes from now, at 7:22, you will become the new world champs for longest space flight.
I believe that man is once again proved that he can operate efficiently. Well, it
blood sample. I want to ride it once around the world just to do it. Hey, Al, that sounds good.
Commander Alan Bean set a new world's record, pedaling around the world inside the orbital workshop. He was riding the bicycle ergometer, used as an exercise device and also used in 2 medical experiments on board the spacecraft.
No, and if we could briefly tell us what immediate benefits the man in the street might reap from Skylab.
Well, the most immediate things are perhaps going to come from some of the Earth resources photography that we've been taking. Just today we completed our last pass, as a matter of fact, and there are going to be literally thousands and thousands of films which will be developed and used to evaluate these techniques for the study of our crops, for the study of water resources, mineral deposits, and that sort of thing. And then in longer range programs, almost everything we're doing up here, we think, will contribute to our knowledge of ourselves and knowledge of our environment, and ultimately be of benefit to all of our citizens.
A good orbit for the 3rd Skylab crew. Assuming a good rendezvous and mission, they can become the first crew in history to be launched 1 year and splash down the net.
Confirm you go orbit, looking real good.
Roger, looks great, Houston. Come in, Skylab. We got a hard dock, Houston.
Roger, hard dock. Welcome aboard.
Glad to be here.
Roger.
Great to be home.
We did a little calculating this evening, and we found out that the workshop now in its 2,867th rev is getting something like 285 miles per gallon.
Per gallon of what, Bruce?
Per gallon of RP1 and LH2 that were used for injection.
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year, Grim.
You 3 guys last evening at a time of 0546 Zulu became the undisputed world space champions. You passed Al Bean's total flight time record, and that record was 69 days, 15 hours, 45 minutes, and 29 seconds.
Beautiful. We sure got a pretty country, Houston.
That it is.
Been a real useful machine, Grip. Hate to think we're the last guys to use it.
Yes. Well, it certainly did a good job. Served its purpose.
Soyuz has now been inserted into orbit. This is Moscow Mission Control.
We have a liftoff. All engines building up thrust. Moving out. Clear the tower.
And we got the beautiful sight. Dan, I tell you, this is worth waiting 16 years for. Okay, Dick, we've got Soyuz and the Sexton.
Hey, super. Apollo, Houston, I got 2 messages for you. Moscow is go for docking. Houston is go for docking. It's up to you guys. Have fun.
All right, sounds good. Follow Vino Vila, Alexei.
We should be getting acquisition momentarily through the ATS-6 satellite. 1 meter. Contact. Capture. We have succeeded. Everything is excellent.
Well done, Tom. It was a good show. They're looking forward now. You think you have this young in both of you.
Thank you, Alexei. Thank you very much. To you and Valery. Soyuz, this is Apollo. Now hatch 4 is open, over. Hello.
This is a happy time for the whole crew. We're happy, very happy, to be together here in the first international flight. After 2 years of joint preparation and training, we astronauts and cosmonauts not only have worked together, but we've become good friends. I'm sure that our joint work, friendship, will continue even after this flight. I, too, am sure, dear television viewers, that this flight will open the way
pride that comes from knowing we are the first and we are the best, and we are so because we are free. As you hurtle from Earth in a craft unlike any other ever constructed, you will do so in a feat of American technology and American will. May God bless you, and may God bring you safely home to us again. That's the end of the message. And John, we can't do more from the launch team than say we sure wish you an awful lot of luck. We're with you 1,000%, and we're awful proud to have been a part of it. Good luck, John. Trip 995, we're bringing you forward. You're absolutely professional. The best there is. For 95 to beat.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. We've gone for main engine start. We have main engine start.
Seconds, standing by for SRB SEP confirmation. Roger on the SEP, Columbia. Mark, 2 minutes, 20 seconds. Confirm solid rocket booster SEP. Columbia is now steering for its precise window in space for main engine cutoff. Columbia now 74 nautical miles altitude, 181 nautical miles altitude. Status check at the control center. Columbia, Houston, you're go at 8. Mark, 8 minutes, 4 seconds. Looking good. Columbia, now 63 nautical miles in altitude, 606 nautical miles downrange. Standing by now for main engine cutoff.
Mexico 25670, up at 220 feet per second.
Roger, Columbia, amigo. Confirm shutdown. Columbia, the gem of this new ocean, now in space, not yet in orbit. Now standing by now for external tank separation.
Okay, we got SEP.
Roger, we confirm the SEP, Columbia.
Mission Control, Houston, status check and mission control now. Go, no go to stay on orbit. And
Columbia,
get out of the
Houston, you guys did so good, we're going to let you stay up there for a couple days. Your go for on orbit.
Spacecraft must go for on orbit. This thing is just performing just outstanding. The vehicle is just performing like a champ. It's really beautiful. And it's delightful up here in zero gravity, my dad. Of course, we owe this to a lot of people, but we certainly want to thank everyone who has helped get this thing airborne and can take great pride in doing so well right now.
John and Chris, we're 30 seconds from LOS. Want to report that Columbia is in super shape, almost no write-ups. We want her back in the hangar, and you have a preliminary go for the burn.
Go, and we concur. Fly like a king. As the officer would say.
Columbia, your burn attitude looks good to us. Everything aboard looks good to us. You are go for deorbit burn.
Okay, understand. Go for the deorbit burn. Thank you now. That's the best news we've had in 2.5 days.
We'll get a report at Yargity on how the deorbit maneuver went.
Columbia, this is Houston through Yargity. We're standing by.
Mission control, chase planes are taking off now at Edwards. AOS, in automatic flight control.
Hello, Columbia, Houston's here. How do you read?
And we're doing Mach 10.3 at 180 AS.
And we couldn't agree more, John. Your state vector's good. We've got good data in-house.
Okay, it looks to me like the yellow over data is nominal.
Crossing the coastline
Columbia,
now.
we show you crossing the coast now.
Roger that. Where you coming?
141,000 feet. Range
And
240
Columbia, we like
miles.
the TAC ants. Go ahead and take them.
Okay, going in.
Crew now incorporating tactical air navigation system data into the spacecraft. John Young rolling, using manual control now.
Columbia, we see roll reversal complete. Control looks good.
Probe's coming in.
And Columbia, you're out of 100K with positive seats. Looking
Roger
good.
that.
Ejection seats can be used
Oh, that's
now.
beautiful.
Below 100,000. Mach 3.
Okay, probe's out. And air data looks pretty good for here.
Roger that. Looking good. We're looking at them. And you're coming right down the chute.
Range 73 miles.
air data. You're out of 89K, 2.8 Mach.
Air data.
Roger that, we're looking.
Okay, taking figure.
Dryden.
Columbia, you're coming right down the track. The tracking data, nav data, and pre-plan trajectory are all one line on our plot boards here.
Roger, we can track.
Mach 1 at 51,000 feet. Range 28 miles.
Columbia, you're going subsonic now, out of 50K, looking good.
Roger that.
Columbia getting ready to start the big sweeping turn into the runway. 38,000 feet. Range 19 miles.
Columbia, you're coming right around the hack, looking beautiful.
Roger that.
First on aboard 30,000.
Columbia, you're really looking good, right on the money, right on the money. And we're seeing 1.3 Gs coming around the hack.
Roger that.
And turning on to final, your winds on the surface are calm.
Back on the wind.
You're right on the glide slope, Columbia.
Clear, John.
16,000 feet.
Mach 15.
Airspeed 271 knots. Fido says it couldn't be any better. 9,000, 280 knots.
Everything looks real good.
2,500 feet.
Clear. You're coming. You're down. 50 feet. 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Touchdown. Those gears, 10 feet. 5, 4, 3, touchdown. Look at those, skipper.
Welcome home, Columbia. Beautiful, beautiful.
So I have to take it up for hangar, Joe.
We're going to dust it off first.
This is the world's greatest all-electric flying machine, I'll tell you that. It was super.
Okay, convoy's on its way.
Convoy on. We'll stop on the Columbia. We'll stop.
And as Columbia's main gear touched the lake bed, the flight director's instructions were prepare for exhilaration.
3, 2, 1, and we have solid motor ignition and liftoff. Liftoff of America's space shuttle on its fourth mission, and we have cleared the tower.
As you probably know, this is the last of the designated test flights on the space shuttle system. We'll be landing on the 4th of July, and at that time we anticipate declaring the space shuttle transportation system operational. It's kind of fitting that we land there on July the 4th and celebrate the ushered in of a new era, just as our forefathers ushered in an era of democracy for the whole world over 200 years ago on the same date. The operational era of the shuttle, I think, is going to mean a lot to all of us. We're going to exploit space, we're going to put it to work for ourselves, and make it pay off like it never has before. There's a whole new frontier out there. I think it's time to renew our thoughts of where we've been and remind ourselves of the things that we utilize from day to day that are direct outgrowths of the space program, and then be thrilled when we think about what the future may hold for us. I think there's the things we can't even begin to imagine are going to happen for us.
The fourth landing of the Columbia is the historical equivalent to the driving of the Golden Spike, which completed the first transcontinental railroad. It marks our entrance into a new era. The test flights are over. The groundwork has been laid. And now we will move forward to capitalize on the tremendous potential offered by the ultimate frontier of space. Beginning with the next flight, the Columbia and her sister ships will be fully operational, ready to provide economical and routine access to space for scientific exploration, commercial ventures, and for tasks related to the national security.
Liftoff of the first operational space shuttle mission with 2 satellites on board, and the shuttle has cleared the tower.
Columbia now in space for a 5th time, this time with a 4-man crew.
Columbia, Houston, with you to Santiago for 2 minutes, over. Okay, Mike, we deliver. We got SBS off on time, and we, by the way, still have that beautiful satellite inside. It's traveling just below it.
The deployment of the Anik satellite in some 6 minutes.
Okay, Houston, this is Columbia. We are 2 for 2. We deliver.
Roger that.
Hatch is open. Easy 1 is
at least partway out of the airlock now. The hatch is open. This will be the first American spacewalk since 1974. Skylab 4.
Liftoff of STS-7 and America's first woman astronaut.
Never been to Disneyland?
Affirmative.
That was definitely an e-ticket.
Roger that, Sally.
Awaiting affirmation from the crew that shuttle pilot satellite has been deployed, which will be a rather significant moment in the history of the shuttle program.
John performed a beautiful release and recapture in auto.
Wonderful, wonderful.
I've been told that some crews in the past have announced that we deliver. Well, for Flight 7, we pick up and deliver.
Roger that.
Commander Truly? Yes, sir, Mr. President. Well, listen, congratulations on a successful and a spectacular night launch. Every one of these launches of the shuttle is a spectacular and a noteworthy event, but this one has certainly its share of firsts. Guy, congratulations. You, I think, are paving the way for many others, and you're making it plain that we are in an era of brotherhood here in our land, and you will serve as a role model for so many others and be so inspirational. And then Bill, at 54, is the oldest astronaut to ever fly in space. You have a especially warm place in my heart.
Thank you, Mr. President.
And the first night landing ends the 6-day flight of STS-8.
In Columbia, Houston, we can see you coming down the tunnel. Welcome to Spaceflight.
Hey, Tango, Tanka.
The space lab in which the experiments are being carried out was designed and built for the European Space Agency. The Federal Republic of Germany and other European contributors can be especially proud of this achievement. The experiments on this shuttle mission will add to the treasury of human knowledge and be put to practical use, improving our lives right here on Earth.
Yeah, I think this is going to be meaningful science after this is over with.
And STS-9 is home from the longest shuttle mission to date. McCandless and his man maneuvering unit constitute a separate spacecraft of their own now.
That may have been one small step for Dale, but it's a heck of a big leap for me.
Roger, copy that, Bruce.
Oh, this is really beautiful out here. You're getting a nice sun angle and everything. Oh, this is superb. 297. Hey, got a couple more feet to make it an official 300. Come on back in. Oh, this is great.
McCandless at the full distance, a little over 300 feet from the Challenger. The first time that a spacewalk has ever been accomplished without the crewman being attached by a lifeline or a tether of some kind.
And touchdown. Space Shuttle's first Florida landing.
Challenger Houston will be handing over to Teeters in less than 2 minutes. Solar Max is ready for capture.
The remote manipulator arm was in motion at the time of loss of signal.
Okay, we've got it, and we're in the process of putting in the FSF.
Outstanding.
Okay, Axel, I got you now. So I'll this thing in there and hook it up, right? Okay, good.
Thank you, and the Solar Max is go for release.
And we have SMM release.
Liftoff of mission 41D, the first flight of the orbiter Discovery, and the shuttle has cleared the tower.
They should be in the midst of extending the solar array. When next we see them at Hawaii.
Houston Discovery.
Discovery, Houston, go ahead, Judy.
Roger, Dick. It's up and it's big.
Up and big, we copy that.
We have SRB ignition, and the history's largest astronaut crew is on its way.
Good morning, Challenger.
Hi, this is the 41G crew. We're not in right now, but if you leave your name and number at the sound of the tone, we'll get back to you.
Roger. Blaha, B-L-A-H-A. 713.
Liftoff of Discovery, and the first flight to retrieve and return satellites from space, and the shuttle has cleared the tower.
Stop.
Alan cranking down a ratchet handle to tighten up the grip on the Palapa satellite.
on trucking.
Mission Control Houston, Joe Allen now qualifies as the first human in history to hold a 1,200-pound communications satellite over his head for one trip around the world.
All right, we got her. Oh my goodness. Climb up.
Gardner now going after West Star.
We got it. Perfect. Houston Discovery.
Go ahead, Discovery.
Roger, we have 2 satellites latched in the bay.
Roger, that gave us a big cheer down here.
We'll show you a little bit of the toys that we've been working with. Are you ready?
We're all set for you, Bo.
Here I am with the top. This one is not spinning. You can see how it tumbles when you touch it. Once it's spun up, it'll demonstrate its gyroscopic stability. It won't tumble now. When I touch it, it'll just move translationally. And here's the first and probably the last yo-yo show in space.
They said juggling in space is going to be different. It was slightly different than what you see on Earth.
The paddle ball behaves quite a lot like it does in 1G, except when you let go.
We've been playing with the jacks, and the biggest problem is to keep your jacks from floating all over the cabin while you're chasing the ball. The ball bounces the same way it does on Earth, but of course the jacks tumble in every direction if you happen to hit one.
Now you can see the paper airplane coming back to me. It flies very much as it does on Earth, except much more slowly and much easier. We're going to try to get this stuff on film as well, so that it can be used for children to demonstrate some of these physical properties of items in space.
This is Mission Control, the crew aboard Discovery preparing for the deployment of the CENTCOM satellite.
It's going, guys, and we're taking pictures.
The Omni antenna should be extending at this point.
Houston, this is Discovery. We are watching the CENTCOM. The Omni antenna is still down.
Now, if there's any opportunity to salvage this guy, we'd sure like to give it our best try. So factor that into your thinking, too.
The EVA Tuesday could conceivably attach a fly swatter device that's being developed from materials available in the cabin to actually attach to the end of the mechanical arm and snag the switch as it goes by on the slowly rotating CENTCOM satellite.
We now have contact against the CENTCOM. We can see deflection. Arm moving in again now for another attempt. Broke a rung on the fly swatter. Fly swatters again are designed to break away with a certain amount of force applied. Arm moving in again towards CENTCOM.
Discovery Houston, the window is closed. Perform the set maneuver.
We copy. We estimate we got a hard physical contact on at least 2 occasions.
And we concur with that. That was a great job.
Houston, we have to report the Omni never did come up, and the spin rate is still less than 2 RPM. Okay. We timed it now at 1 RPM.
There will be no further attempts to try to trip the lever with the fly swatter devices on the end effector.
Today's launch represents another first in the Space Shuttle program, the first operational mission for the Versatile Space Lab Orbiting Science Laboratory.
Having activated the various systems of the Space Lab module, the crew is now proceeding to bring up the various experiments.
We have 24 rats with us and 2 monkeys. This is the first time that there has been a large number of animals and men working together, or rather living together, in space. The purpose of this flight for the animals is simply to be sure that for future flights that we can fly them in comfort and in safety, because wherever man goes, I'm sure that he's going to take his animal friends with him in space.
Space Lab mission scientist George Fichtel indicating that this is what Space Lab is all about, having crew members in space, scientists and astronauts working together in space directly with researchers and mission management people on the ground to conduct experiments and to work around difficulties with experiments should that become necessary.
Earlier I alluded to the international aspects of this flight. We've already launched satellite Morelos for Mexico and ArabSat for the Arab Consortium, Communications Consortium, and we also have a couple payload specialists on board from foreign shores. And with me right now is Patrick Baudry from France and the ArabSat payload specialist from Saudi Arabia, Sultan Salman Al Saud.
point in my mind anyway, but I thank you very much for this great honor, and especially the cake, which I'll gladly eat.
Roger, Discovery. Request all crew members temporarily drop what they're doing and float at attention. I have an important announcement to make, and request also that Steve Nagel make his way to the front of the bus, please.
This is Mission Control standing by for a special ceremony.
Roger.
It has been determined that in about 5 seconds, Steve Nagel will start the 100th orbit of this flight. 2, 1, mark. The 100th American has just started the 100th orbit of this flight, which will be known officially as Orbit Nagel. Roger, and be advised that was the 100th nose on the 100th node of this flight.
That's extremely poetic. We'll remember that forever. Steve is in tears.
And we'll see you later. All 100 of us now in the Mocha have an announcement for you.
Good night, Discovery.
Well, good night, Mocha, and we'll be home tomorrow. We'll get to see you in person, and maybe have a beer down the road here over there or something.
Or maybe 100 of them.
Maybe 100 of them.
90 seconds away from liftoff of 51I.
Okay, OTC, Discovery, got a minor storm. We're ready to get out of Dodge.
And we have main engine start. 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition and liftoff. Liftoff of A51I and the commercial deploy and repair mission. It is clear the tower.
Program.
Mission specialists Jim Van Hoften and Bill Fisher getting set up in the cargo bay, making the preparations to begin the salvage operation. CENTCOM weighing about 15,000 pounds. The satellite is approximately 14 feet in diameter.
There you go.
And we got a good shot of fish bench pressing about 7.5 tons, I guess.
Yeah, I think I can get a beast in it. Glad I pumped all that iron, Ox. I'll tell you, buddy. I think okay, we got a good catch. Good work. Hey, oh, now we can get to work, huh? Way to go, you guys. Yeah, now we'll get to work fixing it. All right. Looking good. Feeling good. I know it. You ain't home yet. That lady hasn't seen you. That lady's right in front of us.
Crew going through the operations, which will bypass the satellite's electronics and the timer, which failed to operate when it was initially deployed.
That's it. They're all down. Good solid connection. Okay, I'm ready. Go for power A and B on, fish. Okay, we have 2 lights. Continuity and relay driver inhibit. Okay, check the Omni antenna area clear back there at Ox. Yeah, it's clear. Okay, Omni deploy fire. Omni fire. Here she comes. Looking good. Looking good, buddy. All right. Hot dog. Look at that, Jack.
This is Mission Control. Today's extravehicular activity lasted 7 hours and 8 minutes. This broke the previous record by 1 minute.
You guys worked hard yesterday, get a little cleanup again today, and then deploy that thing.
Good night, Chap. Till ever love.
And often holding onto the CENTCOM by the very lightweight spin-up bar.
Hey, Joe, I'm gonna loft it out of here.
Yeah, looks good. Take it what you got.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, the rig's looking real good.
3, 2, 1. Okay. Buddy, good push, Ox. Okay, it's a good push.
And often preparing to give a second push to the satellite
I can't do that.
as the spin-up bar comes around.
That's 1.5 RPM, Ox.
Here's the push. Hey, you can arrow there. You get her again, Joe. Hey, you get another real good.
That's at least 2.
Okay, one more push.
The intended spin-up rate to be about 2, as good an RPM rate as they can get.
Yep. Okay, let's give it up. We're good. Goodbye.
Looking good, Ox. It's a good steady spin, and you're right on attitude. 3 RPM.
Right.
Well done, Ox. It's not going a bit. That's a perfect spin.
Okay, we copy. That's great work, everybody.
Well, there that bad boy goes. I can still see the timers blinking.
Deployed lifetime of the CENTCOM was about 2,000 orbits of the Earth after it was originally deployed on mission 51D.
We count down towards the scheduled noon liftoff of the orbiter Challenger on the Spacelab D1 mission, which is a dedicated science mission sponsored by the Federal German Aerospace Research Establishment, the DFBLR. Challenger's 8-member flight crew represents the largest single crew ever launched. The crew will work in 2 shifts to conduct the science investigations of Spacelab D1 on a round-the-clock basis. The 3 European payload specialists represent the largest contingent of foreign astronauts to date that have flown aboard the shuttle. The Deutschland Spacelab Mission 1, abbreviated Spacelab D1, will feature 76 scientific investigations. One of the most notable aspects of this 22nd space shuttle flight is that the science mission will be entirely managed through the German Space Operations Center near Munich.
Good morning, nochmal. We would be ready now for TV 19 MKB to show my body convection boat, the moving tracer particles on real-time downlink. Over.
I look on the TV and I see Marangoni convection nicely operating in the boat. I see very good motion, but also unexpected things, and it's totally different from what we can observe on Earth. Thank you very much. Over and out.
Spacelab Reinhard, der Attention, receiving pictures from Philip Physics Module tomorrow.
It is already perfect from here in Pupo. So is cylinder more cylinder than that. There you go.
There's your Marangoni.
Great Pupo. Thanks.
And Luigi, I can tell you it's very exciting to see such a nice zone of silicon floating here.
Can tell you it's exciting from down here too. You did a great job, a wonderful job, and we have, at least I personally have never seen such a clean and cylindrical and even necked region. Thanks again.
The 61B launch countdown is on schedule and proceeding smoothly toward a launch day at 7:29 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This will be the second night launch in the history of the Space Transportation System. This mission will also feature 2 spacewalks, in which the astronauts will be testing concepts for erecting structures in space.
That's working nice. You guys are looking first class.
The crewmen will begin the experiment by assembling and disassembling the Access experiment. Primary objective of the Access experiment is to test the structural assembly concept for the suitability of this assembly process to larger frameworks such as space station structures.
Phenomenal. Sure glad we spent all that time in the water tank working our hands out, though. That feels good to do some good hard work. Yeah.
The last 4 assemblies and disassemblies took a little longer than the first 4, but that was to be expected with the crew members a little tireder on the second 4. But they said that they did observe a learning curve.
The learning curve on ease was pretty dramatic. Yeehaw! That was not bad at all, sports fans. Let's go build a space station. Nice job, here. That's what time it is. What time is it? Time for you to wave the whole thing. I can move this and stop it wherever I wish to. Need to. That's low enough. Now just swing it out over the right wing. Okay? Nice. Overall, I'm pretty impressed with the design. Yeah, I think overall it's pretty good.
You guys do good work, and Ace Construction Company might be in business in a few years.
We're soon going to be ready to go into the pharmaceutical manufacturing business using space as a major resource. With that, we're going to have to eventually go to the space station. With systems in the cargo bay of the shuttle, we should be able to make material, given FDA, Food Drug Administration approval. They can be on the markets in 1988. But to really make this process worthwhile and to really benefit humanity as a total, it's going to take just this facility that we've just been talking about, the space station.
Space Shuttle Columbia once again poised for launch on this 5th attempt for Mission 61C, all looking very good this time.
We have ignition, we have liftoff. Liftoff at Columbia, Mission 61C, and the shuttle has cleared the tower.
Yes, sir. The decision has just been made. back into the operational flow again. And we'd like to let you stay a little bit longer, but we can't, so we'll bring you back one day early. That is Thursday.
Okay, Jim, we copy. You're going to bring us down a day early.
Columbia, Houston.
Houston, Columbia, go ahead.
Okay, I don't have good news for you. The weather is still not acceptable at KSC. We will wave off for 24 hours. Therefore, you are no-go for the deorbit burn.
Okay, Fred, we copy. Wave off 24 hours. We're going to page 3-8.
Roger, it looks like you're going to get your 5 days.
Roger that, Fred.
Columbia, Houston, with you through Tidris.
Good morning, Fred. Welcome back to the entry team.
Good morning, Hood. I'm glad you could join us this morning. We are waving from KSC, and I've got your pad for Edwards.
We look for a go, no-go for the Edwards burn.
Columbia, Houston, no-go for deorbit burn, 24-hour extension.
Okay, Fred, we copy. No-go for deorbit burn, 24-hour extension. Can you tell us the reason we're going to pass up Edwards?
Columbia, Houston, we're going to take one more shot at KSC.
Okay, Fred, we copy.
We're going to go around another day and try to land at Kennedy again tomorrow.
Okay, Hoot. We've all decided that now that we've given you the 2 extension days you asked for, that we figure it's time for you to come home tomorrow. So we're planning on you coming home tomorrow to KSC, and if the weather is no-go at KSC, we figure we'll see you at Edwards.
Heck, that's what you told us today. I guess we have just one more thing to say.
Okay, we're standing by.
It seems that we have talked like this before. Not deorbit had that we copied then, but we can't remember where or when. The clothes we're wearing are the clothes we've worn. The food that we're eating getting hard to find, since we can't remember where or when. Some things that happened for the first time seem to be happening again. And so it seems with the orbit burn, return to Earth and land somewhere, but
Columbia, Houston, I think we'd all like an encore.
we were afraid to even do it once.
Okay, and Flight Director said no more encores this mission, and we'll say goodnight and see you in Houston tomorrow.
Houston, Columbia, we show ourselves in deorbit prep, take 3.
We're following you, Hood. We're right there with you.
I guess you know if you wave us off today, you're going to get another song.
Once again this morning, the weather call at Kennedy Space Center will be very close.
Okay, guys, we're going to do a 1-orbit extension. We're going to go to Edwards, and I have your maneuver pads and Del pads when you're ready to copy. Hope you can find some empty sheets.
Okay, Fred, this is our last sheet. We're ready to copy. And, Fred, we're working on another song, just in case.
You've got to go for deorbit burn.
All right, thank you, sir. Copy, go for deorbit burn.
And this is absolutely the last time I'm going to tell you that.
And we show touchdown.
Welcome back to Earth, you seasoned space veterans.
Roger that, Houston. Season by an extra 2 days.
And the sense of relief here among the entry control team is probably very similar to what was experienced in the Launch Control Center 6 days ago when Columbia was launched after 4 successive delays.